Hi there. Can't seem to get the colors just right tonight. This shirt is teal and it looks blue, but I'm not going to worry with it anymore. It just is what it is. Okay, I'm a little unsettled. Things have been going, I've just been so happy, you know, no real excuse for it, no clue really what's going on, but I've been feeling lighter for a while, and in the last 4 or 5 days I've just been joyful. You saw some of it in my last upload. So, I don't know what it's about. It's got me a little off balance, but that's fine too. I mean, who wants to be stodgy and, you know, in a rut? So, I'm not going to read anything into it, or it's not my intention to. You guys do let me know if you've been feeling lifted up just lately. What that might be about, I don't know. Now, I have this journal, and it's kind of funny. I had it up to share with you, and it's called Feeling Too Good, an ongoing And then I thought, well, you know, that's just too out of balance. And so I was thinking about sharing a 12D conversation with you. But I'm going to read this journal. It's from January 24th, the first one of that day. And for whatever reason, I have a link to the audiobook of Homer's Odyssey. And it's a one of 7. I mean, it's not a short work, but it's well enough done. It's enjoyable, you know, to relax into somebody who's really got some troubles. And by comparison, our life has to win out. Not that that's why I did that. I just gotten into audiobooks lately. Okay, so let's give it a go. The Mayan day for this one, it was 12th Jaguar, which is cool. So maybe some things came together since it was toward the end of the Tracina. And for Jaguar, I mean, that's my favorite day. So, hello, my friends. Let's see, what time was this? 11:37 p.m. It's time to sleep, but I'm too high on feeling good right now. I don't think the body could sleep. I've been watching this pretty much all day, this underlying good feeling. It doesn't show any signs of abating, so I came to the journal to see what may be revealed. I find almost always that I know more than I'm consciously aware of, and nor do I think I'm alone in this. I take it to be the general condition of man and womankind, yet if I did not journal, I don't believe I'd be aware of it at all. I both discovered it and generally experience this revealing while journaling. It's one of the reasons I highly recommend we all give it a go. It's a lovely way to open up a deeper channel of communication from you to you. We're all used to trying to make it through a day or a time when we're not feeling very well. We've all been there. We may have physical or even mental or emotional pain of some sort. I don't think there are any among us who haven't had this sort of experience. Yet, what am I to make of this long experience of feeling so good? No doubt far fewer of us are familiar with this one. It seems a bit strange. So I'm not going to try to trace causes or answer the why of it. Too early for that anyway. Just observing, just reporting what is at this point. Besides, such things are a mind response. I'd rather stay in heart with this one and just observe. Now, I don't know how many literature buffs we have out there among those who visit my channel or my YouTube page. Maybe the only thing unusual I did today was to listen to the whole audiobook of Homer's Odyssey. Quite a few hours, but I was enjoying it so much I made it through all 7 parts. In addition to the movies, and not the latest ones, we find on YouTube there are quite a number of good audiobooks. Now, since I'm into communication and enjoy the English language, I can be a bit of a softie for the ones that are real literature. Mostly, I prefer spirituality and science, but English and communication, they're not far behind. I listened to one short audiobook just because of the title, Omnilingual. I gave you a link just for fun. That one, I was surprised to discover even included ETs. And it was fiction. I thought I'd never read fiction again, but that went out the door too, because there's something else I'm reading that has some fiction built into it, and it's touching me deeply, so who'd have thunk it, you know? Let's see, lost myself here. Okay, it's not my regular fare since it was definitely fiction. Still, one never knows what one will do if you stay closely in the now. With no history to provide the habits and tastes, you see, one is far less of a known quantity. Plus, life is more enjoyable that way, though not necessarily for the mind. It's interesting just watching the mind come in and try to analyze the good feelings I'm having. Even though I don't pay its concerns much attention along those lines, this good feeling is odd enough to have piqued its curiosity. Yet, mind and I know better than to go down such avenues as analyzing the why. They never seem to lead anywhere useful, at least not to heart, which for me is all that counts. I'm going to step out here. You know, before I did this, I'm just having deja vu all over the place. Time is getting kind of strange for me, and I'm starting to see things. Maybe something's opening up. Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, it's just feeling like, oh my God, I've already recorded this. Oh well. My cats seem to have adjusted rather well to not being outside anymore. I think they both understand it's due to Cuddle's 5-day vacation from home. Not something I'd care to repeat. I'm really glad they're so great about it. They're not trying to dodge out the door quickly anymore. They could really try to guilt trip me by always begging to be let out, which they don't. Like I say, they do seem to get it somehow. Loving that. Shifting again. It's an interesting thing when you know that all of your major chakras, the 12 of them, are open. It's an easy thing to consciously open the crown chakra in that event, seeing that all those above it are on the higher dimensions, so there are no concerns with encountering dark things. Ken has told me it's through the higher chakras, generally the 8th and the 9th, that my 12D ET being friends send me energy, or chi, he calls it. I guess it's easiest for them that way since they're up there in those dimensions. They can deliver the energy there without having to lower their frequency to 3D, or its frequency. Yet it filters down into and through the crown chakra nicely, and from thence out into the rest of the body. Now, to be consciously aware of those upper chakras, that would be a neat trick, or rather a neat ability. I bet we'd all like to have that one. As it is, there is often a tingling or a nice feeling up at the crown level. I'm learning to focus on consciously opening that 7th chakra when I feel that. Often a really nice energy comes flowing in. If any of you have experience with these higher chakras, I'd be interested. I've only known about it or had it confirmed for a month or so that they're all open. It's something I know precious little about. I did a bit of internet searching, but the opinions were too diverse to make it worth much. Even where the 10th chakra is, for instance, is disputed. Some say it's beneath the feet, some out to the side or the back or something. Ken says it's up there. Oh well, I'm not sure what use I'd have for that mind knowledge these days anyway. I mean, what do you do with it? I'm not into practices and such things, so I'm not sure what use such knowledge would serve. Probably only to distract me out of heart and into head, actually. That's most often how such things tend to turn out for me. How about you? This whole shifting into heart thing, getting out of the typical left brain focus, turns out to be a rather full-time proposition. One must be sufficiently determined to do it in order to stay 2 steps ahead of mind and its efforts to thwart one, to gain back control. Then, even when mind quits actively fighting the move to heart, and mine has done that, it can still inadvertently pull the focus off center and back into the mind. It's getting easier, though, since the personal preferences seem to be continuing to just fall away. Fewer and fewer things and different things hold my interest. I think Adyashanti calls it the falling away of the personal will, the fading of that. Well, that's what it seems like to me, too. And I bet it's happening to you, too, or you wouldn't be on a YouTube channel like this one. Actually, I think we can safely call this one an ascension symptom, though the word ascension may have gone out of favor a bit since there were precious few fireworks on 12/21 last year. There were changes, all right, but with so many people set up expecting to have ET descend, to have mass ascensions, anything more subtle than that couldn't capture their attention or notice. Expectations got in the way. Well, I'm sure I'm only one of many who is noticing thus far into 2013 that things do seem noticeably lighter already. I haven't wanted to say much. I kept thinking the lighter feelings would fade. I'm about to say, maybe not. They do seem to persist so far. As always, though, staying in now, and time will tell, I still choose not to have expectations around it. Well, not strong ones, anyway. After all, I'm human as well as divine. I think, overall, we've been fed a bill of goods on this ascension thing, on a lot of it, not all of it. As I've often shared, I do definitely experience an incremental ascension or lightening, rising of energies, a lifting of burdens or weights. It's been going on for several decades now, though, not something that's likely to carry us all into higher dimensions on one day. Makes you wonder what the intention was in building up such hopes and expectations. Part of it was likely for cultivating fear with all of that Armageddon stuff, disaster predictions and all that. End of the world, indeed. Maybe some of the buildup of high hopes around the mass ascension idea was to cultivate disappointment and a bit of depression. I'm sure there were many who responded that way, at least for a little bit. Things that make you go, The powers that were, I don't put anything past them. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. It seems that the bulk of us have weathered all the false predictions pretty darn well. I actually thought there might be more of a pushback or a backlash of those disappointed energies on 12/22 more than there were. I just didn't feel much of that from others. Some of it, but it wasn't really intense and it wasn't really long-lasting or maybe I'm just not psychic enough. I don't know. Being open, as I tend to be and enjoy, I'm sure that I and many others held out a wee bit of hope, too. Hey, when anything is possible, well, that's what that means. Open to literally anything. I don't close doors on stuff. One never knows. And shutting the door on things, well, that's not good heart energy after all. I'm still counseling openness and emptiness, by the way. It has the power to bring a lot of happiness all on its own just by what it's not. It's been a really good experience for me. It smooths out the highs and the lows, bringing more of balance into my life. Now, I didn't set out to cultivate that. Just turns out that's a side effect of being open. Well, that's how I read it at this point anyway. That's how it feels. It's much more difficult to be manipulated when you're empty and open as well, especially when you're self-observant. When you've sworn off of holding any strong expectations, ultimately any expectations at all, well, what handle can the powers that were get on you? There's neither fear of holding dreadful expectations, nor the high hopes of holding seemingly positive ones to be let down later. It's really rather nice, more of taking our own power back from those who are so used to controlling us as we sleep along. Truly nice. Now, I think I'll see about going to sleep tonight, listening to Paradise Lost. They're kind enough to also have the audiobook of Paradise Regained. I've also got Tristan and Isolde loaded up. Not the opera, but the audiobook. The YouTube site for all of this is the 16th cavern, and I'll put a link in my journal, or you can just click over to the transcript and follow one of the links there. Okay, friends, I'm still feeling really good. Still, I don't see that this journal is taking me anyplace very deep, and I don't want to bore you, so I think I'll leave off. It may be shorter than most of them have been lately, but one never knows. It may be that there will be a live intro to it, or a good deal of ad-libbing. When living from heart and in now, you just can't predict. Anything, truly anything, is possible. Now, I put namaste, but I have not only a PS, but a PPS. So, PS, oh boy, something just hit me. This is not just a higher chakra effect, this feeling good. The base chakra is also involved. It's been feeling really good too. But more things that make you go, like seeing more and more things darting around or out of the corner of your eye. It's like the reality starts to shift just a little. Yep, Now, I know I can't be alone in this, so do fess up if it's happening to you too. And then PPS. Plus, on looking up at the Mayan day, I discover it's my special day, Jaguar. Not only that, but a 12, which is at the end of their 2-week Tracina cycle, which is when things tend to be coming together for us. Yet another Okay, and I'm not going to close out entirely just yet. I want to find out what today's Mayan day is. I haven't looked. It's January 29th. I had the browser closed, so it's taking a second to load up. Okay, so it's taking 10 seconds to load up. I don't know. I'm really hopeful that you guys can give me some feedback. Day after day after day, it's like it's hard to wipe the smile off my face. And it's even through the pain, you know. Okay, today is 4, which is a number of stability in Mother Earth. 4, storm. Day of the blessings of rain, and it's raining. Giver of all life and lightning. A gift of nitrogen to Mother Earth and ozone to Father Sky. It's a beautiful energy. They say it's also the blood lightning, which sometimes apparently the Mayans call the Kundalini the blood lightning. And it's also associated with the moon and the cycles of the moon. Very feminine. All right, folks, I guess I'm just babbling at this point. I told you I was feeling kind of off base or off center or something. I don't know. So I'll close out now. See you again soon. God bless.